Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Jerry, owner, founder, CEO of Wealth Dynamics, and I'm giving you a quick message today on getting out of debt. Okay, so I've got an article posted below here in the comments on how to get out of debt now. And a lot of times, when people have debt, it's usually two reasons, right? It's usually because, either we used someone else's money because we didn't want to use our own. That's more of a conversation of investment and opportunity cost. That's a very small percentage of the time people have debt, okay? Most people, they have debt because they had to use money because they didn't have their own. That's the only time I've ever borrowed money is because I didn't have my own money, right? So when I'm in that position, I then have to go to a lender, I have to get a loan out, and then I buy something. Usually for most Americans, it's consumer goods, it's a car, it's a student loan, it's credit cards, it's whatever. And so it very easily happens that we rack up debt. The average American family has over $38,000 of non-mortgage debt. Okay, $38,000. This is a lot of money. That's almost an entire year's income in non-mortgage debt. Okay, so how do we get out of debt? Like, what is the way that we go about this? Because you don't have to stay in debt forever. And you also want to make sure you do it the right way. Okay, so a couple things I'm going to share with you. The first one being, when you pay off debt, you're literally investing. To a lender or to a bank, debt is an investment. They earn interest on it. They earn income from it. It requires a principal amount. So it is an investment. A bank will resell your debt to another bank. That other bank buying it is the investor. They're buying your note. They're buying your debt. Then they get the interest. They get the income. So debt literally is an investment to the lender. So when I'm paying off debt, I have to have the mindset that I'm actually investing. And when I'm investing, I think totally different than when I'm, a consumer. When I'm a consumer, it's very short term. It's not very numbers oriented. It's very emotional. When I'm an investor, it's not emotional. It's very logical. It's very numbers based. Okay. So that's the first mindset change. The second is a piece of education. Okay. So when you combine dollars and debt, they both get rid of each other, right? So if I have $1 and I pay off that dollar with debt, right? So I have $1 in cash, $1 in debt, and I pay off the debt. Both the dollar in cash and the dollar in debt are gone forever. Never gonna see them again. On the debt, that's friggin' awesome. That's the point. I don't want the debt anymore. But that dollar is also gone. Okay, now with that dollar, there's something called opportunity cost. I will never see that dollar again. I could have invested that dollar. The rate of return I could have earned on that dollar oftentimes is greater than the actual rate of interest on the debt. So while it's great that I paid off the debt, it's not so great that I'm never going to see that dollar again. Okay. So people will turn to, I used to be a Dave Ramsey guy, the debt snowball, take all your free cash and pay off your debt. The problem with that is, sure, you get out of debt right away, but you're giving up financial freedom long-term for debt freedom short-term. Okay, when I take all of my dollars in surplus and I pay off debt with them, I'm never going to see those dollars invested again. They will never work for me again, and they'll never actually help me build financial freedom, even though they got me debt freedom right now. Okay, so that's one thing people do. Another thing people might do is they might do consolidation loans, right? Consolidation loans means they take out a larger loan with a lower interest rate. They refinance all of the debt into that lower rate. The problem with a consolidation loan is you're not actually paying off the debt. Your principal balance is still exactly the same as when you started. Okay, if I have a consolidation loan, I still owe the entire balance of the debt and interest on it, no different than prior to the consolidation loan. The only difference being the rate's lower. Okay, so a consolidation loan doesn't actually help me get out of debt either. Here's what I do, guys. I use the Sacred account. I use life insurance. Okay, if you're not familiar with the Sacred account, or you're new to me, you're not accustomed to seeing my content yet, we use something called high early cash value dividend paying whole life insurance. Okay, I'm going to say that again. High early cash value dividend paying whole life insurance. It's very specific. Okay, it's not the kind your brother-in-law sells. It's not the kind that your friend from church keeps trying to sell you through their network marketing opportunity. That's all different stuff. I'm talking about one kind of life insurance. Okay, this specific kind, when I put $1 into it, that dollar grows at a 3 to 5% rate. Okay, I can borrow 70 to 90% of that dollar, and it will still keep growing. So I have money in two places at once. When I borrow it, it's only costing me 1 to 2% interest, which means I'm making money to borrow my own money. When I do that, I'm going to use the funds I've borrowed to pay off my debt. And I'm going to go smallest balance to largest balance. Every time I pay off a balance, I'm going to take the payment that I used to make. I'm going to throw that at the balance of my life insurance loan and pay myself back, which is the same thing as saving money. That money is available to me right away. I can borrow and access whenever I need it, right? But what's happening is I'm getting rid of the debt, but I'm not losing the future value of those dollars. By tagging them to the life insurance first, they're always going to grow. Okay, I'm always going to see future value on them. Okay, and I'm getting rid of the debt. And then when I'm out of debt, I don't have just no debt. I have debt plus 100% of the money I paid to the debt and an additional 3 to 5% on top of that. Think about that. Do I want to be just debt-free, or do I want to be debt-free with all of the money that I initially put towards my debt plus interest in my life insurance that I can now use for investing, I can use for reserves, I can use for a down payment on my house, I can use for really whatever benefits me? Okay, there's a big difference, guys, between debt freedom and financial freedom. I have a client last week, he texted me, he's like, hey, you guys helped me pay over $40,000 of debt off with my Sacred account. I've now got no debt, I've got 4 months in reserves, I've got $50,000 in 0% interest credit available for more reserves, and he's got a 760 credit score. Guys, and this kid isn't even 30 years old. I'm not either, by the way. Okay, so I want to share this with you today because it is the way to pay off debt that you still secure financial freedom. You still get debt freedom. You still get all the things you're looking for, but you get the future value of those dollars. They grow forever. The other benefit with the Sacred account is it's guaranteed against loss. It's guaranteed to grow. It cannot be taxed. It's protected from creditors, and it's protected from lawsuits. Guys, there's no other asset in the world that has all of those benefits. So I wanted to share that with you today because statistically speaking, and this is not a dig on anyone, I'm just telling you the stats, 80% of people have consumer debt. Okay, 8 out of every 10 people that watch this video, they've got debt. Okay, and on social media, it's really easy to think that everyone is a crypto millionaire or a real estate investor. No, 8 out of 10 people are regular, mom, dad, brother, sister, whoever that have debt. And they're trying to figure out how to get out of debt, and it's an embarrassing topic, and it's things that aren't always the most comfortable to talk about, and we don't know when we're being pitched or when we're being educated and who's trying to help us versus who's just trying to sell something. Okay, so I'm telling you, even if you don't get help from me with getting out of debt, click on the article and the link. It's going to give you most of what you need to know. And if you want guidance, reach out to my team. We'd love to help you and get you out of there. Right? But otherwise, the data and the information you're learning today is something that can help you. I'm going to tune out here. I will be back later with more videos. If this helped you, make sure that you like, you share, and you follow the page. I will be talking more about debt, investing, taxes. If there's things you'd like to hear about, let me know in the comments, and I'll see y'all next time.